the secret shadows of dawn, there's a darkness to disguise. The simple thoughts I recognize. Can't you see their beauty in my mind? Can't you see their beauty in my mind? Keeping you away, keeping you away.
Hello, hello, and welcome along to the Talking Siege podcast. We're back with another episode number 63 here on Monday the 7th of October. We are currently between a lot of different things happening for Rainbow Six locally in ANZ, but there's still been a decent amount of action, so plenty of stuff that we can chat about. As always, it's going to be myself, Dev, Sky, and Cthulhu, the usual crowd. Now, Cthulhu, is that the real Cthulhu? I don't quite recognize you.
Yeah, I mean, I've discovered a little bit of the time machine. Decided to like peek inside, see how was the future in the past, and accidentally while doing that burnt my face a little bit. So
Oh well, now we're all baby-faced, so now we're matching
gang.
at least. All right, so let's get into some Rainbow Six stuff tonight. We're gonna kick it off talking about some of the kind of official game news, that kind of stuff. Talk about esports, which is gonna be covered by Cthulhu tonight. And then later on we'll chat about some community content. But first up, if you live in Australia, especially if you live in New South Wales or Sydney, you should totally be across the APAC finals. Season 10 of the Rainbow Six Pro League is well underway, and the ANZ portion has actually finished. Fnatic and Wildcard are the teams from ANZ who will play against 6 other teams from Japan, Korea, and Southeast Asia for the 2 spots at the Tokoname Pro League finals in Japan later in November. And you can actually go to the event and watch these 8 teams clash. APAC finals are always a fantastic event. It's always very specky, and I highly recommend that if you live locally, tickets are $20 to go to like a seriously top level international esports event for $20. Just do it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people as well who fly in, so it's totally worth going along to one of these if you live locally, and even if you don't live locally, have a think about getting these. And I also recommend getting the tickets fast because they do sell out very quickly. It's held at the ESL studio in Sydney, which is quite a small studio. There's only probably about 200 to 300 seats available.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely recommend you get the tickets soon. But speaking of other events that you might be going to, maybe you're a Melbourner, not a Sydneyer, and you want to go to PAX. There is some Rainbow Six stuff there. So Ubisoft has a booth. I haven't seen the schematics of the booth yet, but last year it was huge. It was right in the middle. It was this beautiful circle, and all of the Ubisoft titles are featured there. Rainbow Six is on the booth this year, playable. We're going to have a player versus player kind of station. I'm going to be helping run that, so I'm going to be standing there, the guy saying, "Oh, you've had your turn, go and leave," and "Hey, why don't you play some Ash or whatever?" So, and Sky's also going to
be the fun police.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be the fun police, and Sky's going to be good cop. He's going to be there as well to help out with the booth. And there's also a couple other things. So, if you're watching the live version right now, you'll see we'll have Watch Dogs Legion, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Roller Champions even, which is still unreleased, and Just Dance, which is always fun. We have this giant stage, we have these professional dancers going at it, and you can jump on there too. Highly recommend that. I might be helping with that booth for a little bit, but I'm definitely not going to dance. This is not like PAX 2 years ago where they made me dance. I'm not doing it again.
Just do it.
No. Maybe, we'll see. And there's also a tattoo parlor where you can get these cool little temporary tattoos with these various Ubisoft logos and the Rainbow Six logo, of course. So that's what's happening at PAX. If you want a little bit more of a fix for Rainbow Six, there's some other cool stuff that you can be involved in. On Twitter, there is currently a giveaway for a beautiful Ember Rise chibi poster that has been signed by all of the developers on Rainbow Six. And this is super awesome, super coveted. I wish I had this, and you can win it in a giveaway on Twitter. If you go to the Rainbow Six game Twitter, that's 6, the number 6, you can retweet, and then tomorrow, or two days from today, they're going to pull out a winner. So if you enter that, good luck. Also not good luck, because I want to win it, so whatever. We'll see however it goes. And also on the Rainbow Six Twitter, you'll find recently they've been doing these kind of hashtag R6Universe tweets and little bits of kind of trivia, I guess, for the lore of Rainbow Six. I know not everyone is into Rainbow Six because of the lore, but I always think it's a nice little bit of a cherry on top of everything else that's in the competitive experience. And Tom Clancy's and Rainbow Six, the universe, has a really rich history based on the book by Tom Clancy himself. So it's always a great thing to dig into. This one in particular, what earned Castle his first commendation? Most people seem to think it was rescuing puppies. I mean, good guy Castle out there helping everyone feel safe, so I like that one. And yeah, I expect there's going to be more of these as well, so tune into the Rainbow Six Twitter. And if you want more fix for lore, open up the game, go to the operators, and go down to bio, because with Operation Ember Rise, all of the bios have now been vastly improved and expanded, and there's a few Easter eggs in there as well. So highly recommend giving those a read. Lastly, if you want even more of a fix for Rainbow, if you really want to show your colors, you can get yourself a Six Esports Collection operator jersey. It's something that I've seen has been hugely popular at events when we sell these. You don't just have to buy them at events though, you can purchase them from the Ubisoft online store. And so if you're interested in a bit of merch showing your Rainbow Six colors, maybe you're not sure which team you want to support, so don't know which team jersey you want to buy, you want to get yourself a generic Rainbow Six jersey with all the operators, pick it up. It's pretty cheap, only $40, just under $40. So it's cheaper than most of the team jerseys, which is pretty good value.
And it has that nice touch. Like, I mean, look at all those beautiful just colors on it. It's just
I love the operator logos. The operator logo. Well, we recently at Melbourne Esports Open, Shane from Ubisoft, he put together these the old operator logos from the beta, from the pre-release, and they made a t-shirt out of that. And so now we have one with the modern operators as well. This has been around for a little while, and yeah, I mean, you can't get operator logos and such on your team jerseys, Fnatic Wildcard. So this is how you can get that. Anyhow, Cthulhu Esports, tell me what you got.
Yeah, esports. So first things first, Six Invitational 2020 announced. So this time the event will be happening on February 14th till February 16th in Montreal. Tickets will be going on sale tonight, aka either tonight or tomorrow. The way depends on how you look at it. 8th of October, 12 p.m. EDT. Definitely, if you haven't been to a Six Invitational before and you, let's just say, keen to spend extra cash money on the flight tickets and everything, definitely worth to go there. It's a spectacular event, and it's always just it's a good showcase how far does the Siege community go. And this year's Six Invitational was absolutely fantastic. Even to watch it online was a treat. I can only imagine how amazing it was in the flesh, but it's definitely something that I personally also have on the bucket list to visit. But to kind of move away from the dreams and something on a bit more real, Challenger League calls first weekend happened. For those who don't know, Challenger League is a tier lower than the Pro League, and that's essentially how teams do get to the Pro League. That's one of the ways. And essentially, you play out first, you qualify your team for the Challenger League. You try to get as higher of a seed as possible through a portion of online qualifying matches and tournaments. Then you play out the full season of Challenger League, and the top two teams, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, top two teams that qualify, they get put into the Pro League. And the bottom two teams from the Pro League get relegated back into Challenger League. So with that in mind, we have currently two teams that are currently leading, which is Homeless, that are known as ex-Acme Association, currently leading the charge in the Challenger League quals. And then AMR, who used to be Rhythm, who qualified also for Six Masters. So those two teams already having some skill and some prowess in playing on a high level of Siege, so far leading. And we also will be seeing Team Cryptic, who just recently been unfortunately relegated from the Pro League, to partake in Challenger League and see how things pan out for them as well.
I guess for those two teams as well, Homeless, formerly Acme, and AMR, formerly Rhythm, both of those teams have qualified for the Six Masters 2020 because they played on LAN at MEO.
Yeah.
So it's a... I think these are teams that we're going to be seeing for the long term, and teams that are only building themselves every time they get smacked back down. So it's really exciting when we eventually do have the Challenger League come about after these qualifier cups are finished. I think it's going to be a hot contest for those top spots, and then finally when we see those teams join the Pro League next season, it'll be a really good showing to see what they've really got up against the top dogs of ANZ.
Yeah. So and we did see Acme, well, formerly known Acme, show quite a good performance against Mindfreak as well, which is a team that is considered to be one of the top ones as well. Now, heading over to a bit more of a global news, we do have the pretty much last day of Pro League remaining for the regions outside of APAC, that is EU, Latin America, and North America. And for EU, there's a pretty interesting storyline currently being set up, as Giants Gaming currently leading the charge and pretty much solidified themselves for a spot at the Pro League finals. And the current two teams that were considered to be the best of the best, aka G2 Esports and Team Empire, currently in the second and third place, and those two teams will be contesting to see which one would be able to go to the Pro League finals. So for those that don't know how things work out essentially with Pro League as well, top two teams from each region go to the Pro League finals. So they play out 12 matches total. And within APAC, it's a little bit slightly more lengthier, because within APAC we have 4 regions, being ANZ, Southeast Asia, Korea, and Japan. And so for us, 2 teams from each one of the sub-regions go to the Asia-Pacific LAN, aka APAC LAN. That will be happening, like Dev mentioned, in Sydney. And then the top 2 teams from that APAC LAN will be going to the global finals for the Pro League. And we'll be battling the top 2 teams from EU, NA, and Latin America. So, yeah, so with EU coming up, it's Giants and potentially either G2 or Empire. For Latin America, at the moment, everything seems to be looking like Ninjas in Pajamas and FaZe Clan will be the ones to be going to the Tokonami finals in Japan. Because with Team 1 Esports only 1 game away, they can only get so much. So
that's a really interesting region to me, Latin America, because it's the region where we had, at the same time, a lot of these big orgs enter the scene. Ninjas in Pajamas, FaZe Clan, and Team Liquid. And Team Liquid had their peak when they won Pro League in Season 7, and since then they haven't quite come back. And Ninjas in Pajamas are the team on the rise, which seems a bit strange, because they didn't have a good performance more recently, especially on LAN. And Team 1's been proving themselves as well. So I think it'd be really interesting if we do see Ninjas in Pajamas on LAN at Tokonami, because they're a team that has really outperformed online versus when they've been playing at a Pro League finals.
Yeah. And then, so for the remaining region, that is the NA, we have pretty much a set in stone Dark Zero, who already qualified technically with 28 points so far, and they potentially might get themselves another set of 6 points. But EG potential is bound to be, highly likely that they will be qualifying unless they lose to Liquid Gaming. Luminosity Gaming, sorry. Which would mean then that Team Reciprocity would have the perfect chance to do it. And so far, this whole season has been pretty much the season of unexpected results. Like, for ANZ, we were pretty much thinking that it was solidified that Oddity and Fnatic will be the ones going to the APAC LAN, but after the last play day, Fury ended up taking a map off Oddity, pretty much resulting in the fact that Wildcard, formerly known as Orgulus, are the ones who qualified for the APAC LAN by pretty much a miracle from the statistics point of view.
Yeah. NA has been kind of all over the place, because TSM joined the league this season, and they kind of were really. They did so well in best of threes through the online qualifier for Raleigh and on LAN when they played at DreamHacks and stuff. But online, they're still, 7th place in the Pro League or something? And Evil Genius has had that massive roster change where Canadian left the team. But they still seem to be performing pretty well with Modiga, who's their new 5th. So, oh man, it's so difficult to pick at the moment what's happening in NA. Dark Zero seems to be the one constant, always performing well online. They haven't translated that really well into a LAN performance yet. So maybe Tokonami is finally NA's chance. I know people are always waiting for NA's chance, all the NA fans out there, but man, it seems so far-fetched sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so at the moment, this is pretty much it on the esports section. So within 2 weeks, we have the APAC LAN.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks. So next weekend is PAX, and the weekend after, I'm pretty sure, is APAC finals. So, 20 the 21st of October, I think, 19th, 20th October.
19th to 20th.
There you go.
To 20th, yeah.
And by that time, we should know all the teams that are going to go to Tokonami, which.
So after this week, it will be known.
Very exciting.
Yes, but for now, on over to Sky. What do you have for us for the community section?
Yeah, so this week's community section is pretty exciting. We've got, to start off, hashtag SiegeTober. So this is a sort of, I guess, seasonal event, if you will. Dev is doing a wonderful job of showcasing some of the artwork on screen right now. And as the name suggests, SiegeTober, obviously it's taking place in October, started 7 days ago, so it's currently the 7th of October. And this is a way for the R6 community to, I guess, furthermore showcase their artwork, get more spotlight. Like I just mentioned, Dev is showcasing some really cool pieces on screen, and examples of sort of the content that is being put forth here for SiegeTober. And some of these have actually been retweeted on the official Rainbow Six game Twitter account. So that's really exciting to see these artists getting their work shown on pretty much, I think, the biggest sort of platform that you could get shown on. So that's really exciting. If you want to participate in SiegeTober, you can use hashtag SiegeTober with your artwork. And who knows, maybe you'll get retweeted on the Rainbow Six game account. And if not, it's a really cool way to show your artwork to the community. I guess connect with other like-minded individuals who are also participating in the SiegeTober event. My next I guess section is going to be the creative spotlight for this week, which is Fragment. So this is really cool article, and obviously we can't go through all of it now as it's majoritively written based. But if you want to check it out, you can go on over to the Rainbow Six website, click on news, then click on news, then click on community, and you'll be able to find this piece, and you can read it. It's a really cool written interview, and again, Dev scrolling through here now is going to showcase some of the work. I think my favorite's probably going to have to be the knock that is being shown right now. I think I mentioned this to the guys before, but I think it's really cool to see. Obviously, knock in Rainbow, you can't see her face; it's covered by her mask, if you will. So it's cool to see, I guess, the artists interpret what exactly knock maybe looks like. I think that's really cool to see. As you can see in the photo there, although the mask is still on, you should be able to see under the mask that she does in fact have a face, although very slight. So yeah, I think that's a really cool way to do it. Fragment, I think we're going to go over now we're going to start showcasing the video on the next slide. Not this video, it's a slightly different one. This is of the Smoke Elite skin, and it sort of shows, I guess, the process that is gone through for these artists, how they make these pieces of art, and I think it's really cool to see. It's sort of like a speed drawing, and I guess what's so cool about these creative spotlights is, I don't know if I can speak on behalf of you guys, but I would have never known that this individual sort of exists and that they create the really cool artwork that they do. So for Rainbow Six to step forward and showcase this, it's really cool to see. I'm interested to hear your thoughts, Cthulhu and Dev.
Yeah, Dev, you go ahead first.
I was just saying, I love speed drawing, because it's just trying to appreciate someone's piece of art. I think it's completely different when you see the finalized product. It's quite different to actually being able to understand the process that was used in the development and the creation of that. And speed drawing is the absolute epitome of that. I've seen this, when people video game designers are creating 3D environments and they do like a speed drawing of that. That's super cool. 2D speed drawing is also. I really learned to appreciate the different revisions. It's almost like you get to step inside the mind of the artist. So, as someone who loves to appreciate art, but I have always really just sucked at drawing and graphic art. I've always tried my best, but it's not something that's come natural to me. I really appreciate this. I really love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I certainly would agree with Dev on this one. The speed, this and the progress videos of how the art is made are definitely a very insightful thing. I would also want to give props that Fragment actually managed to do both cosplays of the Hibana Elite and have like a just fantastic art style for this one as well. Like the LPs that is right under the cosplay picture is pretty top notch. If you have a look, like even the parts of the server that is in the basement of the bank, it's pretty well made all in all. So definitely do check that creator out, and definitely do check out Fragment, because they make some amazing artwork, honestly.
Yeah, and I briefly mentioned before, but if you want to check out the article in its entirety, head on over to the Rainbow Six Game website, click on the news tab, then community, and you will see the article, and you can actually read these sort of more in-depth question and answers and get to know a little bit more about Fragment. If you want to follow everything Fragment, you can check him out on Twitter at ifragmentix. On Twitter, keep up to date with everything that they are doing and all their endeavors, all this cool cosplay, speed art. And yeah, like I mentioned before, it's so cool to see that this is something that's happening. I just plugged the Siegetober hashtag, but if you want more of a general hashtag to plug your art, you can use hashtag R6Community. And yeah, we're going to head on now over to the host pick section. Cthulhu is up first with a very... How would I word? A very
It's
interesting...
a certified bra moment, you could say.
So are we gonna throw to this full screen?
Yeah, just full screen it.
All right, ready for 30 seconds of pure greatness, everybody.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the bruh moment. That was the case. Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the
There you go. That's that was quite something, Cthulhu.
It definitely is quite something. It's, I don't know. The moment I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is actually amazing. That was my very first reaction to that.
Shout out to the editor that went through this and actually compiled every single bruh moment.
So whoever done that, please give him a pay rise for that.
So I tried to do something like this a while back when in every one of my casts I was overusing the words I would be like, oh, you know, and I thought, oh, it'd be hilarious if I edit out like just a full cast and just like all of the and I tried and I started it, and about 20 minutes into the edit I just hit my head against the desk, because it's just so much work. It's so painstaking watching so man, hats off to the whoever was in ESL who edited that one. And yeah, hats off to Blue and Veli. I think it was like 90, and Stokes I think it would have been, because this is US Nationals. I feel like it was 90% Blue though. Like,
yeah,
I love it.
But yeah, no, it's definitely certified to give you a quality smile on that. But on to you, Sky.
Yeah, so my one is going to be the Norango history video. Got to give a shout out to Dev, who actually retweeted this on his Twitter, and that is how I came across it. I think it's a really interesting piece on, I think, what many would agree is one of the most personable teams. I was going to say in APAC, but let's be real, probably in the entire Siege world. Norango is a team that I feel the video explains it the rest, Dev. Let's completely chuck on over. Let's let the Talking Siege audience have a look at this video.
はい、野良連合貴族です。今日は野良連合の真実を話したいと思います。2016年7月にですね、日本の CG チームで初めて野良連合はプロになりました。その時のメンバーが昨夜作、プライマリ、モントグミ、キズネッチ、舞園さやか、そして俺のこの6人で野良連合はスタートしたんですけども、アジア大会に出てですね、プレステ4時代にアジアチャンピオンになりました。その時のユニフォームがこれです。懐かしいですね。特にプライマリーサケッチ見てる、貴族のおじちゃんはもう30半ばになりました。で、今日はお知らせがあります。なんと野良連合スキンがついに発売になります。まさか当時はですね、3年でここまで来るとは思っていませんでした。これも一重にですね、応援していただいた企業の皆様、ファンの皆様のおかげだと思っております。ありがとうございます。で、一つ日本 e スポーツチームのですね、事情を話したいと思います。野良連合ともう1チーム以外はですね、給料制でほとんど給料をもらっていません。もらっていても月々数万というのが現状です。これだと日本の e スポーツの未来がないので、我々のですね、まず未来を変えたいと思っています。その一つとして、世界大会前にブートキャンプしたりして、ドリームアックとか出たりで、まず世界大会で日本の e スポーツチームが結果を出すということをやりたいと思います。だからしかし資金不足なのが現状です。なので、野良連合のスキンを、買っていただいて、その手助けをねしていただきたいと思っております。で、今が現状だと日本の若い子だとお母さんに勉強しなさい、ゲームするなと怒られると思うんですけれども、ではなくて、勉強もしなさい、でもゲームもしてていいという時代を我々本当に作りたいと思っているので、ぜひ、応援お願いいたします。よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, really interesting piece there from Norango. I do have to apologize to our audio listeners. There were subtitles, however, obviously that doesn't affect you, so unless you speak Japanese, that would have been quite a confusing piece. But if you want to check it out, you can go on over to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Rainbow6ANZ, and watch the clip in its entirety. But to summarize, it was pretty much just a clip about Norango talking about where they sort of began, where their roots. Had Kazoku, who was narrating it, if you couldn't tell by his wonderful voice. And yeah, again, really interesting. In fact, if you want to check it out, you can just go on over to the Norango Twitter account. It's probably the easier way to do it, and you'll be able to watch it over there. If you want to support Norango, you can do so by purchasing their gun skin and their weapon skin, charm, and in-game uniform inside of the Rainbow Six game. It's certainly one that I've already purchased, and I have had a blast getting Habana stolen from me by Dev, who always seems to play Habana and not let me.
Well, look, when you're fighting me for Hard Breach, that's a special day, Sky.
So interesting. All right, well, yeah, awesome video. We're gonna go over to Dev with his top pick.
So, we've had a bit of a theme tonight. They've all been videos, all of our top picks, and mine, as well as Cthulhu's, has come from the ESL Rainbow Six Twitter. This is a quite a unique clip, and it is also similar to Sky's. It's also not in English, but there's no subtitles. None are needed. For those who don't know, the Rainbow Six Spain Nationals, the Spanish Nationals, are currently ongoing, and there's a fantastic caster called Alex Polo _ on Twitter, and his casting was so hyped. It really reminded me of the Brazilian casters who cast in Portuguese. They're just so much energy and just constantly flowing, and so this was turned into a bit of a meme about the rap god. So we're just gonna listen to this real quick.
Hell, Breezy, let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there, homie. Hey, 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 hey. Hell breezy.
So I don't speak Spanish, and I don't know any. I didn't understand that it was casting when I first watched it. I was like, okay, so they've got some kind of like the rap narrating, and then it just goes into like that beat. I didn't realize it was actually the casting at first. Once I realized, it's just, man, listening to other language casters makes me really want to be able to do these things in English, but I just feel like it wouldn't work in the same way. But yeah, no, I love it. So, Cthulhu, you can do some Russian rapping on the desk next time?
Rather not.
Yeah, okay. We'll save it to the up-and-coming casters like Guz. They can give it their shot and embarrass themselves.
Well, Guz is rapping in Russian. What?
No, he can rush. Well, he can if he wants, but yeah, good luck with that, Guz.
I mean, I'm the only thing that I'm gonna say is, if the demand is right, the product is there.
Okay, I like that. I want to see.
If guys can rap in Russian, I would be incredibly surprised.
Hey, once I learned to sing this song in French, I didn't know any French. I just like learned how it sounds by listening to it, and then I could sing the song in French. So hey, you never know, right? Give it a shot. So anyway, that's fine. That's my clip for tonight. And that's all that we've got for the program tonight. Just before we close, I want to remind you guys, if you live in Australia, if you live in Sydney, even better, or nearby, for $20, you can get into an international Rainbow Six event, the Season 10 APAC Finals, which is being held at the ESL Studios in Sydney on October 19th to 20th. We'll have the 8 best teams from APAC, including Fnatic and Wildcard from ANZ, Norengo and Cyclops from Japan, Cloud9 and Trippy from Korea, and Airwolf and Xavier from Southeast Asia. It's going to be incredibly competitive. I really foresee some close matches, and it's very difficult to guess at this stage who's going to make it through. We're going to be covering that in next week's episode as well, doing a bit more of a deep dive into how we think that the event is going to go. But yeah, if you haven't already got a ticket, I highly recommend you get it straight away because it's $20. It's super cheap, and tickets sell out really fast because the studio is quite small and there aren't a lot of seats available. So I highly recommend going to the Eventbrite link. We'll post it in chat in a second as well. So I highly recommend that you jump in there and get yourself a ticket because you will not regret it. But anyhow, that's our episode for tonight. It was a pleasure as always to have the episode, and don't forget that if you're in Melbourne coming to PAX, make sure you come to the Ubisoft booth. We'll have Rainbow Six there. Come say hi and come enjoy some Rainbow Six and chat to other people who are passionate about this game and this esport that we love. But that's all we've got. So if you're just tuning in now, make sure you can go back and watch the full episode on YouTube or Twitch. It's Rainbow Six ANZ on both YouTube and Twitch. Or you can search Talking Siege into your favorite podcasting platform, iTunes, Spotify, and you can find our episode. This is episode 63. It'll be up on those podcasting platforms within the next few days. Anyhow, that's the episode for tonight. So we'll see you next week, same time, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, because we are now in daylight savings, so that's Sydney/Melbourne time. And yeah, 8 p.m. next week. We'll see you then. Until then, see you next time.